Welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today we are going to discuss about the drama in India. In this module, we'll discuss the relation between comparative literature and drama, and we'll go towards the comparative drama studies and how the Indian drama is necessarily comparative. Primary aim of comparative literature is to study literature from different languages, cultures, nations to know the difference or similarity in history, society, and other creative expressions of human being, and to know the differences in skills and practices in the communities. Comparative literature is not only the study of different literary texts produced by different linguistic, cultural, national, religion communities, but it is also a study of literature with other arts and other disciplines. Therefore, studying literature with painting, dance, music, and drama is also very significant thrust area of comparative literature discipline. Comparative literature as a new field of academic practice arose in 19th century along with other disciplines of similar approach like comparative anatomy, comparative law, and comparative philology. The history of the nomenclature of comparative literature can be traced back in the history of 1816 when French scholar published anthologies of literature under the title of Cours de littérature comparée. Villemin used the term littérature comparée in 1829, and later this term was preferred by the French. In English, comparative literature was first used when Matthew Arnold translated Ampere's Histoire comparative in 1848. In 1886, the first book, Comparative Literature, written on the idea and subjective of the discipline, published in London, written by Hutchison Macaulay Posnet. Though the practice, scope, and definition of comparative literature decisively modified throughout the ages, and this present conjuncture, each nation holds its own idea of comparative literature, and comparative literature is practiced in different fashions across the globe. Comparative literature first introduced as a method of reading literature in more inclusive way than the English department used to practice literature. Later, it was introduced as a discipline and innovated more methodologies to have comprehensive and inclusive idea and practice of literature. Comparative literature promotes reading. Comparative literature promotes reading literature in its own language and in translation, as comparative literature is practiced in global spectrum. It prefers translation as a medium of accessing literature of the world. Comparative literature accommodates the tools and ideas of the discipline of translation studies, cultural studies, critical theory to build the ground of the discipline. Now we are going to discuss about the definition of comparative literature. Henry H. Remake, a well-known comparatist, defines comparative literature is the study of literature beyond the confines of one particular country and the study of a relationship between literature on the one hand and other areas of knowledge and belief, such as the arts like painting, sculpture, architecture, music, philosophy, history, the social sciences like politics, economics, sociology, the sciences, religion, etc. on the other. French scholar Paul Van Tighem defines three consecutive levels of literary study, such as national literature, comparative literature, and the third one is general literature, while he was talking about comparative literature. National literature treats questions confined to one national literature. Comparative literature normally deals with problems involving to different literatures. General literature is devoted to developments in a larger number of countries, making up organic units such as Western Europe, Eastern Europe, Europe, North America, Europe and North America, Spain and South America, the Orient, etc. According to Thigem, comparative literature is a study of literature based on findings from national literature and general literature, merges comparative literature and national literature. One thing is worth remembering here that Thigem imagined national literature as a singular literature, which is different in Indian context, as India is essentially multilingual and it produces a huge diverse range of literature which are themselves comparative by nature. Susan Bassnett defines comparative literature as the study of literature across the culture, time and space. According to her, comparative literature is connecting literatures. She says the simplest answer is that comparative literature involves the study of text across cultures, that it is interdisciplinary and that it is concerned with patterns of connection in literatures across both time and space. Another very famous comparatist, Stephen Totosi de Jepetnek, in his celebrated book on comparative literature Theory, Method and Application is his title of the book, analyzes new aspects of objectives of comparative literature and placed it in non-Eurocentric domain of literary understanding. He describes in the first chapter of the book, I quote, "In principle, the discipline of comparative literature is in toto a method in the study of literature in at least two ways. First, comparative literature means the knowledge of more than one national language and literature, and or it means the knowledge and application of other disciplines in and for the study of literature. And second, comparative literature has an ideology of inclusion of the other, be that a marginal literature in its several meanings of marginality, a genre, various text types, etc. Comparative literature has intrinsically a content and form which facilitate the cross-cultural and interdisciplinary study of literature, and it has a history that substantiated this content and form. Shishir Kumar Das, a pioneer of Indian literature and comparative literature of India, he theorizes that comparative literature is not an exercise in discovering the abstract universals of literature. It must deal with literatures in their concreteness, and hence the study of Indian literature together is but a part of the comparative literary studies as an academic discipline. Tutun Mukherjee, another leading comparatist of the world, she subscribes the idea of indiscipline of David Ferris, which defies containment and breaches which transcend disciplinary borders. She further writes, ideally, comparative literature should have no home in any one nation or any one language. Indeed, it possesses the quality of being supra, above and beyond, defying boundaries, limits, groupings, and the ability to break free of its own standards and disciplinary entrapping. This ability of comparative literature to defy boundaries is what I postulate in order to map the terrain of what I see as the new literary order. I unquote. This nature and scope of comparative literature proposed by Mukherjee is indeed describes the power of the discipline to be contextualized in any nation, linguistic region and any geopolitical culture. This nature of the discipline also focuses on the open-ending scope of the discipline also. Mukherjee also proposes the idea of eccentricity to define the nature and scope of the discipline. While she speaks, eccentricity means perpetual moving away from the any kind of centrality in the choice of subject matter and or manner of representation, perspective and positionality, theory and analysis. Unquote. The second point we are going to discuss is Indian comparative literature. Many of the comparatists across the world have opined India is one of the most significant area of doing comparative literature because of its multilingual, multicultural, multi-ethnic and multi-religious nature. Buddhadev Bose, an early comparatist in India, says, I quote, potentially India is one of the richest fields of comparative literature. The age and complexity of our civilization, the diverse elements that compose it, that world hunger of which Tagore spoke 100 times and which took possession of us with the dawning of our modern age. All these provide the material and the atmosphere demanded by the nature of this discipline. I unquote. The connection among Indian literature can be best read through the methodologies of comparative literature. Moreover, there are coexistence of painting, performance, literature within a text in Indian culture, variety of genres in pre-colonial Indian literature, and influence of literary and cultural movement like Bhakti in Indian tradition also necessitates the idea of comparative study of different Indian literature, the culture of translation among Indian languages, and from modern Indian languages to English also can be understood best by comparison. From Sanskrit to Euro-American, from Euro-American to Indian Dalit and tribal aesthetics practiced in Indian literary culture in different time also initiates for a comparative framework while reading Indian literature. Susan Bassnett subscribed comparatist Shopon Mojumdar's finding about emergence of comparative literature in South Asia as a method of reading national literature. Such initiative is found in China, in Taiwan, in Japan, and definitely in India. Majumdar comments on describing the context of comparative literature in South Asian countries. I quote Majumdar, it is because of this predilection for national literature much deplored by the Anglo-American critics as a methodology that comparative literature has struck roots in the third world nations and in India in particular. Ganesh Devi opined that the rise of comparative literature in India is directly related with the rise of nationalism in India. Indian comparatists have successfully grounded comparative literature in Indian context, and they have proposed methodology and objective of studying comparative literature in India. Collective initiative of the Indian comparatists suggested Indian school of comparative literature. Critics and theorists quite often dealt with the nomenclatures like Indian comparative literature, comparative Indian literature, etc. The doyen of comparative literature in India, Shishir Kumar Das, defines comparative Indian literature in this way that comparative Indian literature is not merely a search for national literature counteracting literary chauvinism, nor is it a search for a universal literature, which is the professed aim of the study of comparative literature. What is more, comparative literature is not an exercise in discovering the abstract universal of literature. It must deal with literatures in their concreteness, and hence the study of Indian literature together is but a part of the comparative literary studies as an academic discipline. The future of comparative literature in this country will naturally be directed towards an intensive study of various Indian literature in the main, but as long as it realizes that its text and context are Indian, its methodology comparative, but its main objective is literature. It will serve the cause of comparative literature. I unquote Das. Comparative literature as an academic discipline in India was first introduced in Jadavpur University, Kolkata by a renowned poet and critic Buddhadev Bose in 1956. But first theoretical discussion on comparative literature was happened when Tagore was invited in the ancestor of the Jadavpur University, that is National Council of Education, in 1906 to deliver a lecture on comparative literature. He titled his lecture as Vishwa Sahitya or World Literature. Tagore received comparative literature as world literature, which is supposed to deal with great literatures across the world despite their regional, linguistic and cultural identity. After Tagore, it was Ashutosh Mukherjee, the then Vice Chancellor of the University of Calcutta, who introduced Modern Indian Languages Department in 1919, envisioning the study of Indian languages together to know ourselves. It was the time of nationalist movement and nation building, and Mukherjee was first Indian to introduce Indian languages and literatures in an academic department. His initiative necessarily initiated the idea of comparison among Indian languages and literatures, and it begins the study of Indian literatures as a cluster in India. As Mukherjee made University of Calcutta to produce textbooks in different languages from the university press. Later on, comparative literature as an academic discipline established in quite few universities in India. In few universities, it is comparative literature like Jadavpur University, Punjab Central University. In few universities, it is comparative Indian literature like University of Delhi, University of Calcutta. In few universities, it is with English department and titled as English and Comparative Literature department like Central University of Kerala, Pondicherry Central University, etc. In Gujarat Central University, it is Department of Comparative Literature and Translation Studies, and latest department is introduced by Assam University, where it is Indian Comparative Literature. Varieties in the title of the discipline shows diverse understanding of comparative literature in Indian context. Major theorists who are founder of the idea of comparative Indian literature or how comparative literature can be contextualized in India are Buddhadev Bose, V.K. Gokak, K.M. George, Navanita Devshen, R.K. Dasgupta, Shishir Kumar Das, Amiyo Dev, Indranath Chaudhary, Tutun Mukherjee, Haris Trivedi, K. Sachidanandan, Shubha Chakraborty Dasgupta, Ipshita Chandra, P.V. Ravindran, E.V. Ramakrishnan, R.K. Dhawan, Avdesh K. Singh, Chandra Mahon, and many others. The next issue which we are going to discuss is comparative literature and other arts. Rene Wellek and Austin Warren comments the relationship between literature and other arts like painting and music is various and complex. They pointed out there is both way communication of influence, inspiration and adaptation between literature and painting, literature and music, literature and theatre, so on. Ganesh Devi's seminal work on Being Bhasha and of many heroes represents many examples of relations between literature and other arts in Indian culture. Comparative literature does a methodological study of literature and other arts, tries to find out intrinsic relation between literature and different art practices in different communities or across the culture. The objective of this study is to find more adequate and inclusive reading of literature. Mary Gerther says that literature and artistic expression of any given epoch can be approached in 7 ways in comparative literature. Those are: the 1. Details of a literary text elucidated by a picture. 2. Details of a picture clarified by a literary text. 3. Concepts and motifs of literature clarifies by the arts of design. 4. Motifs of picture elucidated through literature. 5 and 6. Literary linguistic forms and literary stylistic expressions in literature and art. And the 7 and the last one is borderlines between literature and art. There are many ways to find a relationship between literature and other art. For example, literary theorist Calvin Brown finds relationship between literature and music through the study of folk epic and opera and influence of a writer upon musician and musician upon writer. There is always a symbiotic and intrinsic relationship between literature and other arts. If we trace the literary traditions of India, it is quite visible that the idea of literature is emerged in multiplicity from different cultures and different Indian traditions, unlike Europe, Oral tradition is very common in different Indian linguistic communities, and this trend was or still alive due to absence of culture or recording the literary evidence with modern technologies, mediums, and including printing press. In Indian culture, painting is appeared as a mode of narration and only medium of narration sometime. For example, we can talk about worldly community and worldly painting of Maharashtra, and the Potochitra of Bengal, where they are painting and they are narrativizing the oral tradition, the stories what are there in oral tradition, or the stories from the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and from different Purana, and from the existing myths. We can take more example from performance like Pandavani, a folk theatre form of Jharkhand, narrates the story of Mahabharata, which has been existing in a community practice since long time. And to them, this performance is one of the literary expression, is not being the piece of mere performance. Growth and development of Indian Bhasha literature shows performance and literature appeared in the culture as siblings. A remarkable category of popular performances of medieval India found their sources of narrative from literature manuscripts, and literary manuscripts also accommodated the narratives from performance traditions. This is how not only theatrical text but also other texts were used to be performed. For example, narrative poetry from medieval Bengal like Manosha Mongol Kabbo and Padmavati, etc., used to be performed as well. So India has intrinsic relation between literature and performance in its heritage. The next topic for our discussion is comparative drama studies. The study of comparative literature complements the study of drama, as the analytical and comparative skills you learn are suited to both programs and results in a strong understanding of broad range of text, written or performed. Your literary appreciation will aid the practical drama elements, as you will have a clear understanding of the cultural and historical background of the playwright. Comparative drama studies as an approach towards literature and other arts helps to build one's skill to enhance the culture more critically. It involves the historical context of dramatic text or any other text adapted into a drama form, along with the historical position of the author. This study also involves the study of relation among literature, theatre, play, and drama. It also expands one's understanding of drama in more inclusive way with the comparative study of different medium like films and theatre, and comparative study with broader literary sphere like world literature, and such kind of study is important as methodology in literature department, as drama and the theatre, while also exploring world literature as well as film and the visual arts across national or linguistic borders, across different time periods, and across the boundaries between different genres and media. This study introduces cross connection among different genres and mediums like poetry and drama, narrative and drama, drama and film, etc. In this comparative study of literature and drama, methodologically for examining relationship between literature and other art is also required, as being composite art. Drama involves use of other arts too. For example, a Bengali text of poetry, Shojon Badiar Ghat by poet Jashimuddin, is adapted as a theatrical text by a popular group theatre Nandikar, and Tarashankar Bandyopadhyay's novel Hashuli Baker Upokatha is adapted in theatrical form by Pub Poschim Theatre Group. There are quite a few examples of adapting dramatic text into film, and Shakespeare is more adorable in practice. Hindi movies like Maqbool, Omkara, and Haidar is very popular examples of such case. Satyajit Ray also adapted An Enemy of People by Norwegian playwright Ibsen into a Bengali movie called Ganoshatru. In comparative drama study or in the study of drama in the disciplines of comparative literature, we can have different areas to be approached, to be explored. We may examine development of language and class division in society through a drama text like Kalidasa's, where he used different languages for king, queen, and servants and common people. In this case, a single dramatic text itself is a comparative to read the history of language and society. We can examine the method of adaptation and creation of new text when a literary piece of play, poetry, story, or novels has been adapted as dramatic text in print or on stage. In Indian context, while we read history of Indian literature, Indian narrative and Indian theatre, comparative approach is unavoidable to write the history of literature and history of drama. Most of the popular ancient and medieval texts are performative, even if the text is music performance. We can find dramatic conclusion there, for example, Devdashi dance in medieval temples or performing music in a royal court or in any religious programs. Let us now conclude our discussion with that comparative literature examines analogy, reception, influence, and pattern of connections among literary text and literary traditions, literary cultures, and literary history, literary genres, and literary movements across the culture, time, and space. We understand comparative literature as a platform of intermedial and interdisciplinary study of literature with other arts and any other relevant discipline. In India, in case of studying literature as a cluster of Indian literature or comparative Indian literature follows its own pattern and method, emerges from the growth and development of the history of different literatures in India. So Indian comparatists anchor their inquiry from comparative literature to comparative Indian literature. Adaptation study, intersemitic study, and intermediate study of literature is perfectly found in the study of drama. So drama is an interesting field of examining comparative literature. Comparative drama studies helps comparatives to understand the relationship of literature with other arts and other mediums, with the possible political and historical significance of adaptation and representation of a text. Now let us summarize the whole discussion. In this discussion, we focused on the history of comparative literature in West and East, how the discipline of comparative literature was established in India, and how we started our journey from comparative literature to comparative Indian literature. And we talked briefly about different kinds of comparative literature discipline in India. We defined comparative literature, and we tried to discuss the relationship between comparative literature and other arts. From there we come to the point of comparative drama studies, and we conclude with a claim that comparative drama studies is not only an approach towards the drama studies, or not only an way to have better understanding of drama, but it is also a way to establish comparative literature. It is also an interesting way to inquire the methodologies of comparative literature. So we can have a new area of our focus within the discipline of comparative literature. Thank you.